first podcast.
Yes, indeed.
There you go. Welcome.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Greystone Enterprises, right?
That's right.
There you go. We've talked about this, doing it multiple times.
Yep.
And we're finally here doing the first podcast.
Absolutely.
There you go. Well, to get started, let's talk about, who Dustin Meier is. I said your name right.
Yeah, right.
There you go.
First time of that as well. But
there you go.
Yeah, so essentially, I'm Dustin. And I came down to Texas, started a bunch of companies down here. The primary focus being Greystone Enterprise. Primarily, I started out with, there's another company called Walmer Construction, ZD Enterprises. Those were, you could call them, basic, they're basic forms, or they're essentially going to be subcontract companies for Greystone Enterprise, building those up currently, and then Greystone will be the primary one.
Nice.
I guess the goal with Greystone would be to have, it's the idea behind it is to have a contracting company that is only for millionaires. It's not for anybody else. So creating supply and demand.
Nice. Let me ask you this. How did you get started? How did this all start? Because I know you. I've met you. I sell cars, guys, by the way. My name is Atif. I work for Walmer Construction as well. I'm a project manager there.
One of the best sales guys.
Thank you. But I want to ask you this. I've known you for a long time. How did this idea come about of building something so enormous and, trying to go for it? Because a lot of people start businesses and guess what happens? They fail. You on the other side, the reason I, wanted to invest with you in my time is because you're consistent, number one, you're level-headed, and you have a plan and you're going to follow that plan, right?
Yes.
And a lot of people don't do that. So how did this come about? What did it take to start and get to the next level?
So ultimately, the way everything started was, for me, a couple years ago, I was working for a construction company, selling roofs, and I was, super good at it, top sales guy in that company. And I just wasn't happy. I really wasn't happy. I was making whatever it was, 10 grand a week or whatever. And it's good money, right? It's very good money, but ultimately, that's never going to give you the happiness that I'm 22 right now, about to turn 23, but it wasn't getting me to where I wanted to go, right? And so I took a step back and said, look, I could stay in this company. Best I'm going to do is have 5% in the company. Really, that's not very much equity, but ultimately, to fulfill what I want and everything I want in life, I'm going to have to go and do it on my own. So I made a decision, quit my job, started my first company, which was doing work for insurance.
Really?
That actually did super well. But again, it was limited in the fact that it was based on me. So I would have, I was making whatever, 5 grand a week or so. It really, it was good money, right? You can't complain about 240 grand a year, but at the same time, you can. If you had the ability and the capabilities, then you should. So I started out and I said, hey, if I am to become rich, super rich, how would I do that? What is going to be the best trajectory for me? And how can I build it and how can I document my story and my how I'm going to get to that point? So if I can replicate it and do it again and again and again, no matter what. So I talked to a project manager who I work for with the other company, and he decided to go in with me, and we moved down to Texas, and we started.
Who's this project manager? Do I know them?
Zach Decker.
Zach, there you go.
Yeah.
I had him in the back of my mind. There you go.
Yeah,
Zach Decker.
One of the best guys you'll ever
We got to
meet.
get him on the podcast. We will soon.
100%.
He's a very interesting guy. He gets scared every time I walk into the house. He runs away from me. I don't know what it is. If it's the color of my skin.
It's haram.
Yeah, it is haram. Indeed.
Shit. It's essentially the way we did it, and I guess the process, which has worked for me up to this point, is we got a chalkboard and we said, hey, we want to build a company, and we need to be doing $2 million a year after 1 year, right? So how are we going to do that? Yeah. Let's break it down. Well, let's break it down into weeks. So we broke it down and said, if we grow in 1 grand in revenue per week, after 1 year, we'll be doing 50 grand a week, correct? So that's, 200 grand a month, give or take. And then that would be 2.4 million a year. That is kind of where we were, the trajectory we had started out on. Obviously, we started on that, and it's been doing, happy to say this, it's been doing super well. We reached that goal in 3 months. So I think, a large part of what
Just to
people.
let you know, what they did in 3 months is nearly impossible for a lot of companies to do.
Yeah.
A lot of people start a business, they have these thousands of ideas. They don't focus on one thing. They
Yep.
focus on 1,000 different things, LLC, this, that, boom.
Yep.
Then they come up with these excuses to not do the business.
Right.
And eventually the business is never a business.
Right.
You guys came down here from Pennsylvania, correct?
That's correct, yes.
Came down here, made a plan, and stuck to the plan. And I just want the people watching it know that if you have a plan in place, it's going to work. It's just about doing it. You preach that to me every day, pretty much.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think the biggest thing in that is that when you do, like, write it down. It's simple, right? Write the plan down, and then work off that. And you will, not only will you do exactly what the plan is, but you will, I think 8 times out of 10, you will do, twice as well.
Yep.
And I think that's across the board.
Just to, go back on the plan thing, a lot of people write down a plan, but they also fall off that plan.
Yeah.
What would you recommend people doing better at sticking to one thing and not being, followed by the internet or being, misguided to doing the wrong things? Because, people look up information online and
100%.
they go, okay, I should be doing this, not that. The main thing they're doing, they don't focus on, but they end up doing something else.
Absolutely.
How do you recommend people following that one plan they wrote in initially?
Well, I think a large part of it would be understanding and knowing a demographic before you go into something. So I was in the construction industry. Is construction the thing that I've been doing my entire life? No, right? It was, my dream was to be a pilot.
Yeah.
Obviously I'm not doing that, right? But we're gonna get to the next level.
Were you scared of crashing in?
Yeah.
We might have to cut that part out.
Yeah, let's not talk about that.
We're gonna cut that out. We're actually cutting that
Yeah.
out. Yeah. All right, restart.
But no, I guess the main, back to your point, is the main way to, you need to have someone, and you need to tell everybody, you need to be very intent about what you do. You need to tell everybody and keep calling them up and keep telling them exactly what you're doing every single day. Because if you don't have someone to hold you accountable, in the end, you're not going to be able to do it, right? And then the other thing is, when you're doing it, stay on track, right? And there's going to be days where you're going to be up and days you're going to be down, right?
Yeah.
And there's going to be weeks you're going to be up and down, right? And you're going to think that you're going to crash and burn. Probably every other week you're going to be, 100 grand in the bank account. Next week you have zero.
Well,
Next
I've
week you're
been there.
50.
I've been broke pretty much 5-6 times now. Moved down, moved back into Dallas, and been broke, and got it right back.
Yeah.
I think it's the mentality people lack in
Absolutely.
doing what they're supposed to do.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people lose once and give it up.
Yeah.
Either they become an alcoholic, they go do drugs, and basically say fuck off to life and do whatever they want.
Absolutely.
But the real killers out there look at a loss and go, this is nothing to me because I'm building something bigger.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you're right on with that.
Yeah.
And I think, that's the major problem with most people's mindsets is, well, they'll see the success and then, everything goes in waves, right?
Yep.
You're successful one minute, and you're failing the next. And that's just the way it goes. And just being able to, stick with it. And also just always stay optimistic. I think it's a very big one is negativity is a big killer. A very big killer with a lot of people.
I've been there in situations where, I'm negative, but then I look at it and I'm like, 85% of the problems in my head will never come true. And I can overcome anything I want and, build anything I want. And I think it just starts from there.
Yeah, it's all mindset. It really is.
But, obviously we've talked about that. I want to talk about what Greystone is. The podcast name is Greystone, by the way. And Greystone's, for me, from what I've heard from Dustin, I mean, it's something that's going to take over the world. And, timestamp us from 5 to 10 years from now, we'll be somewhere else. And
who knows?
Whatever this guy says comes true. But talk to me about Greystone. What is exactly Greystone Enterprise? Because I know you have a bunch of companies.
Yes.
But your main focus is to build up Greystone Enterprise and, make it a worldwide company.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Greystone essentially is, I guess the idea came from this.
Yeah.
Most construction companies, they focus on one product, one material, and then they go and, sell it to all demographics, right? And realistically, and people say, well, if you're good at one thing, you're good at one thing, right? But, I believe, and at least in my interaction as a salesperson currently is, you have different demographics that you're selling to: rich, poor, middle class.
Yeah.
And they are wildly different.
Yeah.
Wildly different, and what is valuable to one is not valuable to the other, right? So if you're trying to build, let's say, a roofing company, right, and you sell to everybody, you're selling high-end products and you're selling low-end products, so your margins don't make sense in every scenario, right? So you kind of, if you're in that category, right, you kind of find a place where you reach your cap, right, and it's almost instantaneous. But I guess with the idea behind Greystone was there really is no one who services just like either the rich demographic, primarily just the rich demographic, is honest, transparent, builds, quality work, and has a vertically integrated company. Yeah. And that is why so I guess to your point, Greystone is the company that the main focus. The other three companies are companies that do work for everybody else, but also Greystone. And it kind of is, those companies are a funnel to find quality workers for Greystone.
Essentially, it's a club.
It's a club, yeah. It's 100% a club. So Greystone is, we don't do marketing. And we don't do yard signs. We don't, push. We don't have salespeople either in Greystone. Yeah. None. Zero salespeople.
By the way, guys, I've talked about Dustin, me being in sales for Greystone. He said, absolutely, fuck you.
Yeah, no, because a lot of people...
And I'm a sales guy. I do sales for a living. And he said, fuck off. I don't need you.
But yeah, I mean, the thing with that is sales is, people don't need to be sold to, especially in that kind of situation. If you have the money, right, if you want something done, you're going to want to get it done whether or not there's a salesperson telling you want to get it done. Mm-hmm. So it's, and also salespeople, no offense, right? Yeah. But salespeople do waste your time.
You said no offense. We do waste people's time, by the way. I do.
Yeah, so absolutely.
I do waste a lot of people's time.
Right, you're pushing stuff.
We're master bullshitters at the end of the day.
Yeah, so. Yeah. And saying that, I'm a salesperson myself in a regard. So the main problem with that is you push stuff on people, and people don't like that. And the people who really don't like that are people who are rich people. And also rich people, they are good salespeople, otherwise they wouldn't be rich. So they know the tactics. So like you're not trying to, they can see you right through bullshit. There's no point having those people, but rather have people who are, quality craftsmen, people who know what they're talking about, go in front of them, right? And then have the automated systems that you set up be able to give the quotes and stuff that you need so that you can make, your margins on the job. But yeah, Greystone is essentially, it's more of a club, and it's more of a, how do I say this? It's more of a group that is based on your net worth. Like that's all it is. And you get the perks of having that because, hey, we're not upcharging more than 20%. So we upcharge 20%, which is way lower than most people's margins. Yeah. Not only that, we are vertically integrated. So all our labor comes from ourselves. We don't subcontract. We don't, period. So everyone who does work for Greystone is a company that I own a share in.
I've heard a lot about companies having, subcontractors and actually not having the workers in-house and assigning the contract to somebody else to get the work done.
Yep.
And I mean, you've told me about this multiple times that method never works out at the end of the day.
Well, it's just impossible to control quality.
Yeah.
And that's the reality of it. You're also a sales company. You're not actually a construction
company.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
And having people who know what they're doing, the people who do the sales for us, you can call it sales. It's not sales. The people who do that, they know what they're talking about. So they're not coming into your home saying, well, X, Y, and Z this and X, Y, and Z that, right? Mm-hmm. They're coming into your home and you're saying, look, I want, new this, this, and this. They know what is the best thing, the best product in that scenario. Yep. And that is a majority of the reason why it can be successful.
Exactly.
And also, it's one of those things that it is exclusive. Yep. If you're not a millionaire, you are not part of it. And it's that simple. And it creates a demand that you otherwise wouldn't have. Much similar to like Lamborghinis, right? You don't market Lamborghinis. Why? Because they market themselves.
Yep. There you go.
But yeah.
All right. We've talked enough about business.
Yes.
We should get to know about Dustin a little bit more. He's a very interesting character. The day I met Dustin, he came in. I sell cars at Ford. I still do it to this day. Came into the showroom floor and he said, "I want whatever you have." And I was like, "What do you mean by that?" He goes, "Find me a truck that I like." And I said, "Okay, what do you want?" He said, "Platinum." And he came and looked at that blue Platinum, which is my boss's old truck. Came and bought it, and then after that is history.
I don't like people calling it blue. It's a steel gray.
Steel gray. Yeah, okay, we'll put up a picture right here of the truck.
Yeah, because of Greystone, I wasn't gonna buy a blue truck. It's more gray than blue. But
there you go. Okay, yeah. Talk to me about your hobbies. Tell me what you like doing for fun. Because he's a character. We've gone out, we've partied together, we've done everything. Wherever it takes, we go. But talk to me about your hobbies. What do you like doing for fun?
Oh shit. Well, mainly hang out with friends. I'm not like a big guy who like builds like toy trains and stuff like that. None of that bullshit, right?
Yeah.
So I guess what I would classify. I mean, work comes first. But after work, obviously, you got to reward yourself. You got to do stuff that's fun. Go out with the boys, hang out with the boys, and I like creating a culture with the company as well. So we have a really good time with everybody in the company. We go out, we party a lot. We do drink. I know for you that's haram. You can't do that.
That is haram for me. I don't drink.
But chilling in the evening, having a drink, possibly, flying to other. I love traveling a lot, so I will go and travel. I will, make time to spend time with other people, and yeah.
Speaking of time, leads to my next question. You came to me and said, I wanted to make the biggest podcast in the world, and I'm going to take over the internet.
100%.
And I believe you take a few inspirations from like Luke Belmer, Andrew Tate. You take all the inspirations, and you want to do these things. How do you manage all this time, like running a company? Then obviously hiring more people. You hired us, and then doing the stuff you say you do for fun, hang out with your friends, whatever. And at the end of the day, coming back home and saying, I got to build a multi-million-dollar company.
Yeah.
How do you do that? Because
I'm a little bad. Companies.
Many multi-million-dollar companies. I'm a little bad at managing my time. Sometimes I'll be doing one thing and I'll show up late to Dustin's after 30 minutes. I mean, thankfully he doesn't care.
Well, no, that's not true.
That's not true, but
I do give him shit for that.
There you go. But how do you manage the time?
I guess for me, I do a lot better under pressure. So the more things I have going on, the more focused I can be. Oddly, which is the backwards of what most people have. I don't know.
Most people fall under pressure.
Yeah,
they do.
Yeah, I'm the best I am under pressure. Like if I'm like losing money, like I sell the best. If I find ways and be creative. Like the more stuff I have going on, the better I am at managing my time. And I don't know why that is.
Right.
It's just maybe it's ADHD, whatever.
ADHD, yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Who knows? Fuck getting diagnosed, right?
Yep.
It works.
Yeah.
I guess managing time comes down to, my mind works best under pressure, and when I'm thinking about 8 different things at once is when I work best. So I guess managing time comes down to also delegating, finding other people to do stuff that you are, and also just knowing that you are not the best at everything. So I guess
that's a good point, because you can't do everything.
No,
you have a team around you.
Yeah, and I would say 99% of the knowledge I have comes from listening to other people and working with them and through them to get to the point where I am. So like, I never went to college.
Me either. I dropped out.
Yeah, fuck college, right?
Fuck college.
That's for another time. Big rant from me. Hate
that's
college.
why. I don't want you to rant about it. I was going to lead into, obviously you have these businesses going on. You're making a bunch of money. You're living the life, to say the least. I want your thoughts on, in today's economy, how are you, able to navigate through and build a successful business? What is your, way of managing that? Because taxes are not the same what they were, 2 to 3 years ago. Interest rates are not the same.
Right.
Housing has gone up.
Yep.
Everything is going up pretty much. How do you manage that? And what are your thoughts on, the economy obviously right now?
Well, I would like to point to Robert Kiyosaki. He is I don't know if anyone's read Rich Dad Poor Dad. Great book, would recommend.
Great book.
Absolutely.
Read it, please. If you want to make money, read that book.
But yeah, no, absolutely, 100%. Better than going to college. Read that book.
Yep.
$30.
$30.
Not 30,000. So.
What we'll do is you just leave a comment down there saying you want to get rich. We will send you a Rich Dad Poor Dad book.
Actually,
just so we can do it for you.
100%. Yeah, it'll be free for you.
Free for you.
Yeah, so I would say that, referencing that book, one of his main points is that, you can blame the economy, but a good entrepreneur it's a personal economy.
Yeah.
If you have a poor economy, right, you are going to do badly in good times and in bad times. If you have a good personal economy, you will do good in all times. And sometimes, there's, and really, if you want me to commentate on what I think of the political climate and stuff like that, that's different. But I would say that if you're trying to succeed, economy is an excuse.
Yeah.
Everything that is outside, everything is within your control. A poor economy, there's still opportunities, and there's opportunities.
I believe the worse the economy gets, the more money you can make.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, that is 100% true, because there's different ways. It's just being creative, and again, it's coming down to.
I had my one of my friends say, you make money when there's blood in the streets.
100%.
A lot of people made a lot of money when,
Yeah.
the economy is going to shit.
Yeah.
A lot of people take opportunity and be like, I don't care what's going on.
Yep.
There's blood on the streets. I'm going to go get
There's
it.
more money to be
There's
had.
more money.
Well, there's always, whenever there's a change in the economy, there's also a change in what people need.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's businesses that are out there who don't change, sweep in, take their business, because they're leaving it wide open for you to come in and take it.
Right.
And, today is easier than ever, right? I don't care what the inflation is. I don't care what's happening, right?
Everything
today
is online.
It's easier.
Everything you can do is online. Like, kid you not, guys. I mean, you can literally start a business. I don't have my phone, but you can start a business from your phone. You can start selling. I mean, it starts from sales. No
100%.
matter what you do. I mean, if you want to be a YouTuber, you want to build a podcast, you want to build a business, you want to sell clothes, whatever you want to do, at the end of the day, to make money, it's sales.
Yeah.
Go find something to sell.
And, well, I'll say this. The one business that I did start that did fail was dropshipping.
Me too. I was there. There you go.
Oh, shit, brother.
Everybody's been in that boat. Everybody's been in that boat. I remember sitting in my room, and this is during COVID.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about crypto as well in COVID. I want to talk about crypto a little bit.
Yeah,
because I'm
100%.
deeply into crypto.
Yeah.
I remember seeing these YouTube videos on people making 20, 30 grand a month, and I thought 20, 30
Anybody
grand
can do
is insane. Anybody can do it. All you need to do is open up a Shopify store and go ahead and just post a product and then sell it.
Yeah.
And then I put money in. I put like $1,000 in total, and I saw nothing out of it.
Well, yeah. I put in probably $3,000 into it, which really isn't a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like today, like if I tried doing it today, probably would do super well.
Yeah, absolutely. With the knowledge we have now.
Yeah, no, but it was the first thing I tried, and it was the first thing I failed at.
Yeah.
And you know what? You will fail. So maybe it was a good thing that I did.
Yep.
Maybe it's a good thing I failed because I learned a lot through it. I learned a lot about marketing. I learned a lot about running online ads. And setting up a website. Really helped me in everything else I've done so
Which
far.
are essentially the basic needs of running a
100%,
company.
100%,
I mean, you need those, essential things to build a successful business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Couldn't agree more.
Speaking of business, I want to talk about crypto.
Yeah.
Being in crypto.
Yeah.
That's my top community. So all the Twitter community people.
Oh my goodness.
Hello.
Coming right at you here, eh? So crypto, interestingly enough, my story with crypto began in 2020 when I lived in London at the time during COVID.
By the way, we're both from London. I was born in Croydon.
Yeah.
My friend.
My brother. Crypto, I started out, I was making $10 an hour at the time, £10 an hour for the Brits, and really not a lot of money. I invested probably two grand into it, and did a lot of leverage trading. If you don't know what leverage trading is, it's essentially where you put in money, and it is at whatever leverage you put it at. It's borrowing other people's money, and you can lose all of it instantly. Yeah, I would. If you're in the U.S., you got to get a VPN, so pretend like you're from a different country, and essentially that's the only way to do leverage trading. You can do it. It's a form of gambling, absolutely.
Absolutely, I believe crypto is completely gambling at the end of the day.
But I think DeFi and like the idea behind crypto is one day going to become.
I believe in the technology. I believe in the technology of crypto growing as a decentralized place to have money. Right?
Yeah, and I want to start my own coin one day.
Exactly. I mean,
like I really do. Like that's, give me a few years here, but maybe not. Maybe 6 months. Who knows? Maybe next week. Who knows?
To go based on what you just said, you're going to launch your own coin. It doesn't mean that he's going to start a meme coin and blow it up and then forget about it. I think there's a lot behind the tokenomics, how you use the token and what kind of network you use it on.
So there is something that I want to do, and I don't really know enough on it to be able to tell you it's going to work 100%. But essentially, I want to build a more stable coin that is based on gold, as opposed to like coming back to how the gold currency the gold standard was back in American times, but really basing it off of the value of that, and then I guess we'll see where that goes. But I think there isn't really a coin right now that is stable there's stable coins, absolutely there is, but I don't really believe there's a very there's no real coin out there that is based on anything in particular. So that's kind of my idea, and I guess we'll see where that goes. I don't really know enough to speak on it right now, doing a lot of research at the moment. But back to the crypto, I did it for a couple of years of leverage trading. Now I just have positions. Did super well in leverage trading. In the first 3 months, I made 14 grand out of 2 grand, which is I think 7 times.
This is during COVID?
Yeah.
There you go. I just wanted to reiterate on that. Just going back in the conversation about the economy.
Yeah.
Even during crypto, if you were, involved in the Twitter community with all the NFT, all that bullshit right there in that time, you still were able to make money even after the country being shut down
100%.
for a whole year. You can
100%.
still make money at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Just about finding the opportunity and how you want to leverage it against yourself and use it.
100%.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I strongly believe in that, and I think that, any excuse you ever make is an excuse against yourself, no one else. Really.
Exactly.
I mean, the only person you're hurting is yourself when you make an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
There's no one else who's gonna, weep and moan because you're not making money. It's the only person that you're hurting is you.
I don't want to get political here. I have a question in front of me right now.
Fire away.
Sent by somebody.
Okay.
Presidential.
Yes.
What do you think is going to happen?
I'm not sure who's going to win.
Because we know the president does not run the country. We know that. But at the end of the day, the entire media perception of, whoever wins, not to get political, but, obviously it's important and, whatever happens is going to be based off.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Republican Party has better economic policies than the Democratic. Again, I don't think it's going to be, a lot of people make this huge thing where, well, if Trump takes over, right, what's going to happen? He's going to form a dictatorship. That's ridiculous. It will never happen. That's an absurd thing to say.
I think we're too big of a country to do
and then also,
make that happen. I mean, if it were a company a country like Thailand.
Yeah, maybe.
Sure.
Yeah.
The United States is pretty big.
Yeah, no, the Constitution is,
Yeah.
like there's 3 branches of the government, not just the president. So it's ridiculous to say that he will take it over. That is crazy.
Yeah.
And you can't fire senators, and you can't fire House of Representatives, and you can't fire the judges. So based on that, right, you can't just change the political economy based on who you vote in as president.
Yeah.
So, but on the other side, right, the Republicans are saying that the Democrats are rigging elections. Maybe they are. Maybe there will never be a free democracy again. They're saying that. I don't think that's true, and I believe in the United States system. That's why I love the United States.
If you're a Democrat or Republican, I am not part of this conversation. Do not shoot me. Thank you.
Well, you could shoot his father, but no, I'm joking.
That was a joke.
Yeah. I think, I'm a fan of the Republican Party. I think their policies are better, straight up. I know a lot of people disagree with Donald Trump. I like Donald Trump for his economic policies. Do I agree with everything he does? In social media, maybe not. Do I agree with his approach? Maybe not in everything. But on a whole, I would absolutely say Republican, without a doubt. Drilling oil, absolutely make this country economic dependent. Right now it's dependent on other countries.
I think
Let's make it
I'm going to
self-sustainable.
cut this part out a little bit. Yeah, can't have too much politics on there.
Oh, okay.
But cut next. All right, let's talk about some crazy stories.
Crazy stories.
Crazy stories. I want to know some crazy things you've done in your life because you're a pretty spontaneous person. They'll call me 8 p.m. in the nighttime and be like, Atif, what are you doing?
Yeah.
We're gonna have a cookout at the house. Come on.
Yeah. Well, that's mild. What I like to do is, I don't make plans ever. I don't think it's a good thing to make plans. You're just limiting yourself. If you have a plan, you've limited yourself. Except when it comes to a company, and then obviously make your plans and follow them. Yep. But if in social life, absolutely never make plans. Whenever I go anywhere, I don't make plans. Earlier this year, I was sitting around. It was, I think, February, and I was like, "Fuck it." I bought 4 of my buddies tickets to go to Europe, and we fucked around in Europe for 2 weeks. And I think it's great to be spontaneous like that. We booked a there and back ticket, nothing else. But yeah, and dumb stuff like that. Last year I was also.
By the way, we're gonna have a lot of. Obviously, we have the Greystone Podcast, but we're gonna have a lot of small little vlogs. Us doing crazy shit.
Oh, 100%.
That would be really entertaining.
Yeah, it'll be spontaneous. We don't plan it. I don't plan anything.
Yeah.
If once work's done though, once something's happened, boom, let's go do something.
Yep.
Whatever it is. Actually this week, right?
You know where we should go?
What happened this week? India.
We should go to India. How about that?
What's in India?
That's fun. Trust me. We should go.
Really? Have you been?
Yeah, it's fun. Trust me, you will love it. You will love it.
Feed monkeys?
I mean, look, you don't necessarily feed monkeys. I mean, there's a lot of things to do.
Okay, they just come and take your food.
Pretty much.
God.
But there's a lot of good food over there. So we can do that.
I don't know about that.
We're going to go climb Mount Everest.
They pretty much just eat rice, right?
No. They eat a lot of things over there. Not curry, don't say that, but they do.
Curry comes from England, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't come from England, but like that's what they eat in England.
I think it got famous in India. They made it famous. But I think the Brits took it and ran with it and
100%.
made it better. You know, just put it on steroids. Yeah. Because anytime you go to Europe, you see a lot of like, you know.
So, but is there any food that like I don't know about from India, like besides rice and curry?
Yeah, have you ever tried biryani?
Biryani?
Yeah. No. So it's essentially rice and a bunch of spices and chicken.
So it is rice. Yeah.
What do you want to eat?
Oh shit.
There's something called shawarma.
Steak. If it's steak.
Steak. I can get you a steak shawarma.
I do love Mediterranean food. Though.
There you go. Yeah, Mediterranean food is really good.
I'd rather go to Dubai. Never been.
Dubai.
100%.
I've been there. I think I went there when I was a little kid. It was
really?
Beautiful. Yeah.
I think when I was conceived, I was in Dubai, but like, really? I don't know. I have no clue.
Yeah. Yep.
Don't know. I mean, I could probably find out, but I don't like to ask those questions.
Yep.
Yeah, no, we should go somewhere. We absolutely should.
I think we should book a company trip and just
company trip.
Just do a random place. What we do is we get a spin wheel. We do it on the podcast.
Yes.
I think we should do this every 3 to 6 months, maybe. We'll plan on that.
Okay.
But have a spin the wheel right here.
Yeah.
It lands on a country.
Yeah.
Out.
Gotta go.
Gotta go there.
Gotta go there.
If it's a favela, if it's the craziest place, Albania, we'll go there. Doesn't matter. We have to go.
Albania's a great place.
It is.
You can bribe people.
Yeah.
What's better? Yeah, and your brothers live there. It's
they do live there. I don't know. Shout out to all my Albanian friends.
Mashallah.
Let's
go. I don't know. I'd love to go to. I mean, I've been to Croatia.
Croatia's dope.
One of the better places.
I heard Gavin's been there too. Shout out to Gavin, by the way.
Oh, we need to get him on here, don't we?
We need to get him on here.
Yeah. So
he's too pussy of coming down here.
Yeah.
And sitting here.
Literally.
Dallas.
What happened last week? I had a business opportunity in Phoenix. Thursday night, I heard about it. Thursday night, I booked a ticket. I was there for Friday night, flew home Saturday. Like that's how spontaneous. I do not like thinking about things more than 5 minutes before doing it, and I think it's a good thing sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes it's fucked me over.
But I think we've got a lot here. I think we covered a lot. I think we did what we were supposed to do for the first episode.
Oh, okay.
I think we have a lot more coming for
100%,
the Greystone fans. We're going to be opening up a Discord. And obviously, it's going to be open to the entire community, but we're going to have a VIP section in there as well, just for club members. So, Dustin can come on there. If you guys need to build a business, you guys need help,
100%.
Dustin's here for you guys. I mean, this guy's nothing but a genius. That's not me glazing you, but at the end of the day, I think the results speak for themselves, right?
Yeah, no,
absolutely.
Yeah, you can't argue with that.
Yep.
But yeah, and let's also for a minute let's talk about I want to get other people on the podcast here. So if you know, or if you're someone who wants to go on the podcast, maybe.
And if you have any recommendations and you know somebody, just send them our way.
We got our boy Trav.
Yeah, we're gonna get Travis here.
We're gonna get him on. Maybe next time. What do you think about that?
I think we should do a podcast with Travis here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hilarious.
He's a rapper. Fantastic.
Also, we'll link everything down below so you can listen to his music.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We should. But yeah, we'll get him on here. Real character there.
Yep.
Got a few characters, but yeah. It's been a pleasure.
It was a pleasure.